today. So I am Liz Massa. I live in Chester. I am the president of Western Mass Hilltown Hikers, and I founded the organization with Karen to my left.
I'm Karen McTaggart. I'm from Russell. I actually met Liz through my dad, and we started hiking together, and we became really good friends, and have covered a lot of the hill towns since then.
2010.
A lot of
I think
fun.
It was 2010. It's been quite some time.
Yeah, we enjoy what we're doing.
Absolutely. And Karen actually, so I was new to the Hilltowns. I moved to Russell in 2010. I'm originally from Hamden, Mass. So that's the other Hilltowns on the other side of the Connecticut River. So I finally got to move back to the woods, and I chose Russell because it was the only town at the time that had internet. So I was like, and I had a job where I had to be on call 24/7, so Russell was it. So Karen introduced me to pretty much everybody because she knows them. So to my right,
I actually grew up in the hill towns.
to my right we have Stephanie, our other director.
I'm actually from Southampton.
Yay!
Right over there on 14 East Street. I currently actually am in Agawam right now. And actually I found these guys on online because they hike with dogs. And I don't go anywhere without my dog.
Yeah.
So, and then
We love
a
Sydney.
We love your dog.
Yeah. So a few years later, here I am, still hiking with them, and
Now a director.
Now a director.
So we did form a nonprofit in 2019, just a quick background, because we were a small ad hoc organization that just hiked with friends. And it just snowballed into larger, bigger groups, friends of friends of friends. So we had to eventually form a nonprofit, which we did in 2019. And why we do this? Because we love to volunteer, and most of all, we absolutely love Western Massachusetts, and the hill towns especially, because that's where we started and that's where we are based in Chester. But we love working with the community. We love working, bringing people outside for health and happiness, for networking with other people. We do allow dogs at all of our events, unless the place we're going specifies no dogs, okay? So we're very relaxed. One thing that we really specialize in is the history of Western Massachusetts. Obviously, this is, the time of year where it's dark at, 3:30. And, if you are doing anything outdoors, walking, hiking, anything, walking your dog, you're kind of limited. So in the wintertime, we like to offer these programs to kind of bring the outdoors in, and you can see a little bit of what there is out there for you to enjoy. This is our top 10 hikes for families. So all 10 of these hikes are great for everybody. So you can bring your kids, your grandkids, your mom, your dad, anybody you wish. Everyone is guaranteed to have a great time. So we're going to start out with the Keystone Arch Bridges Trail, and there's a handout, if you guys didn't grab one, we have them here on the table, that explains all of these, and it comes with a map also, so you can get out there and go. So the Keystone Arches is one of our favorites, not only because it is local, it's Chester. Karen and I are on the Friends of the Keystone Arches board, and our organization are the volunteers that are out there keeping that trail open for all. So we do everything from bridge repair, cutting down trees, pretty much name it, so that it's open. Keystone Arches is now, as of last year, it has been designated a national landmark. So let me make that clear. So you actually have 7 bridges total, and I know somebody here in the room has hiked the trail. So two of those bridges are landmark status. And then also the Chester Railway Museum has landmark status. So if you guys watch news or read the papers, you'd know that in September, we purchased the Chester Granite Saw, which is this right here. Thank you very much. Which is our first major purchase. This is our second parcel of land. We're really new at this, so, we're so excited. I honestly haven't slept in a long time. It's the greatest thing ever. So this is the last operational, and you can see the blade. granite saw in Massachusetts. It was called a shot saw. So basically, if you guys are familiar with the Beckett Quarry in Beckett that was just purchased by the trustees, all the stone that was cut out of the Beckett Quarry went to our saw. So that is a much bigger story to keep being continued. So behind me, Stephanie's running the slideshow where you get some pictures. Everything here is at the Keystone Arches Trail.
That's the cut.
Yep. So you can get a little feel of what it's like. So also the other thing, all these trails are good winter, summer, spring, fall, okay? So all year round, they're good. Some places, you know, even ourselves, we've shown up in the winter and said, absolutely no way can we hike this. So this is another reason why these made it into our top 10. So you can see the bridges themselves. This is the, oh wait, hold on. Bear Tracks.
Those are cities.
My baby's feet, right? You know, our motto is nature, adventure, and history. This is kind of nature and adventure. Yes, we have hiked and come across moose, all kinds of animals. So it's really exciting. At the Keystone Arches, you are almost guaranteed to at least see the tracks of some kind of animal. Because it's the largest parcel of unoccupied land, there are many, many animals roaming free, so you have a bigger chance of either seeing them or seeing their tracks.
I remember one time we were going through the cut to the 70-foot arch. On the way back, I had to look down, and there was bobcat tracks. They weren't there when we went. So that bobcat had come across the trail while we were down the other end. So that was kind of cool.
So the trail basically takes you through. This is the double arch. This is actually the photo that I put into the Blanford Art Show a couple of years ago, the one with the sunset on it. Double arch is right in the beginning. So if you want to go out with the family and, you know, you're not up for the 5 miles in and back
Do
trail,
that lots of times.
you can go, yes.
Yeah, the trains
Right next to
use
the
it
parking
still.
lot is the double arch. So it's a quick 5-minute walk and anybody can
Go
do
have
it.
lunch, bring your lunch
You
with
can have a lunch right here.
Go down by the river.
Yeah, so it's an amazing sight to see. You'll be like, wow, if you've never seen. Has anyone here been to the arches besides you? Okay, so you know. When you get there and you actually see these stone arch bridges were built by men to build the Western Railroad. It was the first railroad to go west. And there is no mortar or concrete holding those bridges together. They are stone laid. So that's what makes another reason why it's spectacular and why the landmark status was kind of easy to get, right? We have an info board right here that actually gives you descriptions of them, and I did give you guys a handout for that. So you can see this was, we do take families, we do private tours where we take out groups. You can hire us for the day and we'll take you pretty much anywhere you'd like that we're familiar with. So there's the double again.
Okay. Yeah, how beautiful
It's
those
absolutely
are.
beautiful. This is really interesting. So you see these rocks, they really are blue. It's not just the photo. So this is serpentine. Serpentine was mined right near that double arch, right by the parking lot in the beginning in Chester, up Babcock Brook. There was a mine for it, and they would crush that stone, and it was, like I said, making the ink for paper money. A lot of people don't know that. Chester has a lot of firsts, including the serpentine for making money. So, yeah, is it blurry from there? Is it good? It's good?
No, we're good.
Okay, cool. So there it is, Friends of the Keystone Arches. So we have a lot of pictures. This is some drone footage. We do YouTube, every single social media there is. We do have a couple people that come and do drone video and drone photos for us, so you really get, the drone photos are great. Most of these photos are Karen's and my photos. There's a lot of interesting things along the trail, and it is reasonably flat, okay? I take kids out on this one all the time, and they find all the things I've never noticed. So that's another reason why this is great. You have the river next to you, a lot of places for the kids to play and explore. 3-county boundary stone is at the Keystone Arches. A lot of people say, are you really serious? Yes. This is Russ on top of the 65-footer. It is 65 feet tall. The 70-footer, 70 feet tall, is the largest one on the trail. Plenty of informational kiosks along the way, and you can see it's really beautiful. You switch back from the winter to the summer. It's great. Honestly, it's a place that we never get bored with.
There's always something new.
There's always
2 years ago, we found the cellar hole for a stagecoach stop.
We didn't know it was there.
We didn't know it was
Walked by
there
it.
until like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Walked by it for how many years?
Yep.
8 years? Yeah. So it's all around us and it's absolutely beautiful. We offer this hike actually as an annual hike. So we do it every year in October for the peak of leaf peeping season. And it's usually our most popular one. And the difference being is that we narrate the whole thing and we take you on all the side trails so that you get the full effect. We also take you under the arch bridges. We have the biggest map collection for hiking online on our website, hilltownhikers.com. Okay, the reason why, that was the first thing that people knew us by. They said, wow, they got great hiking maps. We compiled every map, and we also make our own. So there's places that don't have good detail, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to get here. That's 5 miles, right? So we'll make it more detailed and an explanation for it on our website, so people really don't get lost and they know exactly what they're getting into. And we give them the explanation, like, yes, you have to cross a girder bridge. So if you bring your dog, it might not like the bridge, okay? But always have a paper map. I was just telling somebody that this earlier tonight. Sanderson Brook Falls is number 2. It's absolutely glorious. It is a 60-foot waterfall, as you can see there. The trail itself to get to the waterfall is right on Route 20. Big parking lot, direct route, okay? It's wide, it's great for everybody. I think we snow tubed down it once. We've done all kinds of stuff on that one. It's the greatest hike. 1.5 miles. You could do it on your lunch break. Perfect for everybody. You have Sanderson Brook on the side as you're walking, so it's gorgeous. There's my hiking dog. You have remnants because Sanderson Brook Falls is part of Chester and Blandford State Forest. If you guys don't know, all the state forests in Western Mass have history to them. Most of them were created during the Great Depression by the CCC for outdoor activities, namely skiing. So Sanderson Brook Falls is actually, this is actually the CCC building, what's left of it, the chimney.
That was a lodge.
Yeah, ski trails.
A ski lodge.
Ski trails. So when I first learned about that, I was absolutely floored. I said, really? And that's what it is. Beartown, they're all like that. So you can see the path, it's pretty wide. You can see people, I try to give you guys an idea. So it's wide and it's reasonably flat and it's very short, but highly enjoyable. Feels like you're 1,000,000 miles away from Route 20 or any highway.
I think the last 2 years we've had our first day hike there on January 1st.
I have that here. So we do sponsor, that's probably my best picture. We do sponsor the first day hike, which is a national event. So basically on January 1st every year, it's a movement to get everybody outside and start the year right out in nature. So we are the people that hold it. In Western Mass, besides us, is Mount Greylock, and we hold it at the Sanderson Brook Falls Trail. So we dress up with party hats and we bring them for everybody.
We have a
who
good
comes.
turnout.
Yeah, and we have a good toast. So we do that. Actually, just finished setting that up with the DCR, so we're listed. We have great relationships with DCR, Berkshire Natural Resources, Hilltown Land Trust, and we steward a few properties for Hilltown Land Trust, as well as we were given a few from the city of Westfield. So it's not just giving the hikes and doing the research, we actually take care of many properties. You can see the new informational kiosk there giving you a little bit of history. Highlands Footpath is our long distance trail that runs from Westfield to October Mountain State Forest. That is in the works also. So we have a new long distance trail in addition to the AT that runs north and south. This one runs west and
That was
east.
last year's.
So that's what we
records.
look like for the for the first day. So that's why I tell you that we're relaxed and we're a casual kind of group. When you come out and hike with us, there's usually some sort of entertainment. We have a guest speaker. There'll be a subject. This is the first day hike. There's Alec Gilman, interpretive coordinator for DCR. He's out of Pittsfield State Forest. Beckett Quarry. Beckett Quarry is one of my favorites. It is number 3 on our list. Has anyone been to the Beckett Quarry? Okay, all right. It's a super popular place. And I will tell you why, especially for children and children adults like myself. So Beckett Quarry was an abandoned quarry in Beckett. It's just off Route 20. It has a great parking lot. It had been run for years, and yes, that is real equipment still.
Outdoor museum.
It is an outdoor museum. It was run for years by the Beckett Land Trust. Last year, they sold it to the trustees of reservations. Okay, so we're kind of in this changeover. There are both woods trails and quarry trails. So basically what you can do is peruse through the granite quarry. It ran from the 1860s to the 1940s. It was called the Chester Hudson Granite Quarry. And of course, that's where all the stone from this quarry, all this granite, was brought down on the Chester Beckett Railroad, built specifically for this quarry, and down to the Granite Saw Works, which is our newest property. The equipment that you see here, and there's tons more. I could have had 200 slides.
I know, is the truck there? Where's the truck?
Yes. This derrick right here,
Oops, sorry.
you can still see it. So this is really the sparkler here. This was reconstructed by the Beckett Land Trust a few years ago. It took them a lot of teamwork to get this done. So at the Beckett Quarry, I believe there were 7 derricks total. The derricks are, big long pole with the cable, and
You
there
can
was
see the cables.
Yep, there was a bucket on it, and that's how they were shoveling everything out of the hole and moving it around the operation. So there were quite a few because this was a large operation. They reconstructed what was left because they were made of wood. So, there wasn't too much left, but enough to work with. And they reconstructed it, and it still stands there today. So that's really an amazing thing. We have 2 derricks at our granite works. So, and a lot of it is remaining actually. So I can't wait to get into that. I can't wait. So excited. There's lots of interest. This is a cave. This is the test cave. When they sharpened the drill heads, they would put them into the walls of that cave. Kids love that. It's short, it's safe. It's
We
not
love
really-
that.
Yeah, I do. I crawl around there. I do crawl around there. Here we are snowshoeing, and that's another thing that's great about all these places. And there's a view from the top. Right over there is Round Hill. This one, that big one there in the back, that's Round Hill in Chester. That's the highest place in Hampden County. And our other parcel is there on Round Hill, actually, which is great. There's the derrick, the base of it. You can see there, I think that was our last group hike. But 100 feet tall. What an amazing accomplishment. And you can see when people go there, you're standing on the top of the quarry looking down. It's just absolutely incredible. So Noble View Outdoor Center in Russell, Karen's hometown. So this one also is near and dear to our hearts. Because actually we started hiking in Russell together. This is run by the AMC Appalachian Mountain Club. So it's on South Quarter Road, which is just off Route 23 in Russell, okay? It was owned by the AMC since 1931. They have 360 acres of trails. That picture that you just saw there, that is the big show at the very top. Huge long views of the Pioneer Valley, which are absolutely breathtaking. All their trails have exceptional signage.
The signs are great.
Exceptional. They all have the names, they show you where the next junction is.
They show you the mileage.
Everything, okay? And they have a map that's color-coded, and their map actually has the mileage of every trail on it, which is something that you don't see. So if you're planning a trip out to Russell, this is probably the #1 spot to go to. Short hikes, long hikes. So I know a lot of people contact us and say, well, you know, my son wants to go 10 miles today, but I want to go half a mile. This would be the place. So yeah, there's your views. So perfect. You see UMass, you see
And
Springfield.
the fireworks are puppy friendly. because
And they are
can't hear
dog
them.
friendly because you don't hear the booms. You don't hear the booms to scare the dogs. When we rented the cottage, they have the 2 cottages, like I was saying, and then they also have tent platform sites. They supply all the wood, it's included. You can get a tent site for $12. I mean, the bathhouse that they have is solar with composting toilets. It has a family bathroom. It is amazing, amazing. Clean, beautiful, and inexpensive way to spend one night or the weekend with your family. We highly recommend it. We had a great time. I think we hiked every minute of the day. I mean, I woke up and Stephanie's like, let's go. We're gonna go hike. It's comical. So Christmas time, you know, this is I think 2 years ago. You could see the amount of snow that we had, and I said, come on, we're gonna go hike at Novaville. Karen's like, oh my gosh.
It was freezing.
It was
that
like
day,
8
too.
degrees, you
It
know,
was
and I'm
freezing.
like, we're gonna dress up and we're gonna do hike. It was, I think, Christmas Eve we did this, I think, if I remember correctly. So themed hiking is a cool thing. We've done a Halloween hike at the Keystone Arches and everybody dressed up in Halloween costumes. So that's another great idea for your family to take out into the nature, but dressed up, and obviously not so that you're going to trip and not be able to hike, right? So Littleville Lake. Littleville Lake is another favorite. It's a favorite for people to go kayaking and boating. So boats are allowed, all of you fishermen, just 10 miles an hour is the maximum, okay? A lot of kayakers come out here from the Pioneer Valley. You can see here. I do kayak. I like it. I don't love it, I'll be honest, but I do like it in the end of the day in the summertime, and this is a fabulous place to do it. So Littleville Lake and Dam. So the dam was created, here, you can see here, the dam was created to actually save the villages that were downstream.
It all, right there is where Littleville Lake is now.
So
Right there.
both villages of Dayville and Littleville in Chester are now underwater. So they took all the land by eminent domain. All those roads that were main arteries that everybody went with their, you
My
know,
dad used to drive through it.
they're underwater and discontinued, and those are a lot of the old roads that we do hike in Huntington and in Chester. So, you know, it was created to save the people that were downstream, Huntington, Russell, Westfield, because there have been great floods in our past, and so they had to control the west branch, the east branch of the Westfield River because of that.
I think the last one, the 55 flood is
Yeah.
what did it.
Karen actually got a hold of the original Springfield Union newspaper. This was the village of Littleville. You can see the church there and the house. Yeah,
I love that picture.
we have some great documentation on that on our website. But it's a beautiful place to hike, so it is what it is to protect the people now from the floods. Middle Conservation Area. This one is not too known. It's not so popular. It is in Blanford. It is on Herrick Road, right off 23 at the top of the hill. You guys know when you're going 23 and you're going west, you come to the big, beautiful white church of Blanford, Blanford Fair. This trail's right on the left. So what this offers, this is actually a parcel that was put into conservation by Blanford Conservation, namely Dick Gates. He went far out of his way personally to conserve this land for the town, and instead of houses and whatnot, it is now a beautiful hiking area on both sides of the road. So on one side you have this gorgeous beaver pond with a trail that goes around it, and the dogs and the kids absolutely adore this one. Active beavers. So every time you go, it's going to be different. So wherever they build their beaver dams is where the trail is going to wander through. You can see it's exceptional. This is actually Mary, who lives right across the street from the trail.
Yep.
So she goes, snowshoeing, exceptional. Mountain laurel in the spring, it really has it all. I've even done cross country here. Stephanie and I went
My
this
first
past
time.
winter.
Yeah, that was the
City
day
was
my
our
first time going.
I took there's Stephanie's dog, Sybil. I mean, that was when we had that storm, was like 2 feet of snow. So Blanford was like 3 feet of snow. And it was just the most amazing thing. We couldn't walk anywhere, the snow was too deep, and this is where we went. So it is one of our favorite go-tos. On the other side of the road, there is a small pond. I have a few photos of that too. There's a small pond and more trails, but they're based around Falls Brook instead of a pond. So you're hiking on either side of the brook. They're more woodsy, and there's more fun bridges. So the dogs and the kids love the bridges. Dorothy Francis Rice, big long name, has a beautiful backstory to it. Peru. Has anyone here been to Peru? Oh, you are brave. So every time we go to Peru, I love Peru, so I'm not saying it that way. Every time we go to Peru, it will be 70 degrees, 65 in Westfield. I get to Peru, it's hailing. It's 50-mile-an-hour wind, right? Peru is the highest town center in the state of Massachusetts. I bet you didn't know that.
I didn't.
2,043 feet of elevation is the highest in the state. So they call it Wilds of Peru. We're in the wilds of Peru. This is 300 acres of woods and beautiful trails, all blazed different colors. Easy to understand map. It was used for research headquarters for Smith College students, okay? It is a sanctuary. It was established in the late 1920s by Orrin Rice. He was a New York City architect, and his wife Mary, to honor their daughter, who was a Smith College graduate. She died from tuberculosis, interestingly enough. Dorothy loved the land, and it was the site of the family summer home. So this is how it got into conservation and open to all of us. So the family donated that. It's managed by the New England Forestry Foundation, and it is absolutely beautiful. Glendale Falls in Middlefield, one of the most popular waterfalls in the state and the most difficult to find. I can't tell you what road it is on. Clark right. I don't remember how to get there. I have to rely on my Google Maps. I'll be honest with you guys.
It's off East River Road.
If you're not from the Hilltowns, you have to pay attention. It is absolutely amazing. It is a trustees of reservations property. Has a great kiosk. The trail is very short. It is 1 mile, but it is all stone stairs, a few wooden boardwalks, and the trail itself goes from the parking lot to the base of the falls, and that's it. Okay, it's very short, but the whole effect is you get there and you're on the top and you just see the mountains. You can't see down the waterfall. As you hike down, you see it on your left side. So you see every part of that waterfall as you're hiking down. So it's tremendous. Short, easy hike, a good place to see. Historic Dam Trail. Actually, where's that boat? Oh, behind you, Karen, I think it's on. Oh no, here it is. Sorry. I'll pass this one around. If you guys haven't read this book, this is exceptional. So In the Shadow of the Dam actually is all about this trail. So this trail is history, 100% history. What you are doing is you're hiking a short trail, okay, in the remains of the dam. So I don't know if any of you guys here know about the Great Dam Break in Williamsburg that took out the towns of Skinnerville, Leeds. Has anyone heard of that? Okay, so this is the trail behind that story. We talk about dams a lot because we do see old dams on our travels. You can see these are the remains of it here. The whole trail itself is 1.5 miles. The Mill River flood disaster claimed 139 lives and devastated the villages of Williamsburg, Skinnerville, Haydenville, and Leeds. I was in Haydenville the other night. 1874 it happened. So we see all these old dams from our early settlers. You can see here the remains of it. These are some old pictures from the Williamsburg Historical Society. There's a great one right there you want to hold on to. So back in the day, water was power. So everything was based around these rivers. They would dam it up to control the water power, okay? And that's where you'd find tanneries, mills. The thing is there was no OSHA, there's no regulation whatsoever. So basically a couple of guys got together with some rocks and piled them up. And I kid you not, that's exactly how it was done.
They made the first one with dirt, right?
We've seen. So, well, there was no regulation, no inspections. So they just did what they did. And money was always a factor. So they also built them as cheaply as possible. This dam that caused this disaster and took out 139 lives, they built the dam, this is the thing, round stones and mostly dirt. And the mortar, they did have some mortar, but they mixed the mortar and placed it on a freezing cold day. So if anybody knows anything about construction, it doesn't take, it doesn't stick. It's kind of like trying to stick super glue when the super glue is already dry. It doesn't work. And that's the reason why this dam let go, along with many others in Western Mass. This is not the first. Or the last. There's plenty like this that we find. Middlefield flood was another one that actually took out the whole Western B&A Railroad. You can see these are horrible pictures. It's a sad story. When you hike that trail, there are informational kiosks pretty much every 10 feet with pictures and descriptions. So you really get the whole history of what happened here and how important it was to the people. Old Mill Trail. Okay, so this one, Karen, you go to this one more than I do.
I've run it like twice.
Yeah.
I've taken a couple people
You took
there.
people here.
Yeah.
So Old Mill Trail is also a historic trail. So basically it tells the story of the mill industry in Dalton and Hinsdale. It is right on Route 8, so it's easy to get to, great parking lot, good for kids. What's really great about this trail is they have an interpretive brochure, and you could see like the little kiosk signs there that go along the whole trail. So every time you stop, it tells you what you're looking at. So I have it on the slides here. It tells you each mill you're seeing along the way. What made this one, there's a foundation of the mill right there.
What's that, the Housatonic
Yes, yes.
East Branch of the
Yeah.
Housatonic River?
So what made this one really interesting for me is towards the end of the trail, the penstock is still
That's right.
existing. That's what
I've only
makes
been on this one once, so
Yeah.
this is all of a sudden I'm remembering this
I
now.
love it. I go through it. I mean, it's short. It's 2 miles in and back, and also the first half a mile is ADA accessible, which is rare to find a trail. So it's good for everyone.
It was
when you
very, very well maintained.
Very
I
well
remember that from it,
maintained.
yes,
Very
yes.
ma-
And then it's the first one I've ever gone on that has electronic kiosks.
Yes.
But the only problem was, because it's been a few years, it's when you had a group hike on there.
Yeah.
The only problem was that you don't have any cell phone service. So good luck using the electronic kiosk.
Yeah,
So it's a good
exactly.
thing Liz likes to talk, because out there,
I
we got to listen to what
We tried to
she
get
has
it to work, but I
it's
always have.
beautifully kept up.
Yeah,
It's
we
very
have the
easy to
whole
hike.
guide. We have the whole guide, and we also
But the
have
trail goes right
Right in the
along.
river.
right along the edge of
Part of it, that
yeah,
part.
Yeah.
And they actually have moved the stones, so you don't have to think you're worried about someone who's going to trip on stones. Or
Yes.
go. No, they actually put flat stones out there to make it nice and pretty for you, so you can walk along the river. So it's very unique. Yes.
So the penstock, I think I have a slide on that.
There we
There
go.
it is. There it is. So it's at the end. So This
Be
is,
be careful of the bears sleeping in there in the winter.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
That's good advice.
this is amazing that this is here. We've only seen a few of these. These are ways that, back in the colonial days, this is how they moved water from one place to another. These pipes that they built with the supports, you could see the supports here with the pipe gone. I mean, most of them are gone because they just, the metal erodes to nothing. Conway, we saw this also at the Conway Station Dam.
Yeah.
So the mills were basically using all this water power, and they would say, "Oh, I want it for my mill. I'm going to build another mill, and I'm going to build another." And that's how they moved the water so that they could power all.
There was an
these
old car in the
mills.
woods.
Yeah. Oh, there's an old car in this one too. We find old cars in the woods all the time. Honestly, it's interesting. The river is great to play on. You can see the surfaces. Oh, here's where the stonework is. So this is stonework right along the edge of the river. That's Route 8 right there. The second half has the stonework because the first half is ADA. So the second half has the stonework and the penstock and also another old dam. So one thing that's really cool, there's so much history on this one. As you walk around and we have the interpretive guide on our website, so you can print that out or screenshot it and take it with you. So this was the home of, and still is really in history, of Crane Paper. So they were and they are the sole provider of your paper money. So again, we go back to the money. Chester was making the ink for the money, and then only 20 miles away in Dalton, they were actually making the paper for the money. So you guys can see how this all ties in together. Yep. And we actually have several maps for here. So that covers our top 10 in a nutshell. So basically, yeah, they're definitely, I know, I try to go fast in the time that we have.
My top 10 lead to cemeteries in the woods.
Parents, yeah. We do another presentation that we do is our adventures, and then we also do a lot of presentations on history in Western Mass, which we are really known for. Honestly, about 80% of everything we do is about history. We still get out there and hike, but we always go to the historical places. In the summer, when everything is green, which is the 20%, is when we hike like Mount Greylock and, Olander, and we go out on the more known trails. But the rest of it is really out there hiking